We're very excited to announce here at Harness Racing New Zealand today the very first of our Australian invitations have been accepted for the IRT Harness Jewels 2019, and it is for Lulu Le Mans, who will represent Australia now in the 2-year-old Diamond. Joining me is Aaron Goadsby, who's co-trainer of Lulu Le Mans. Aaron, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jess.
Now, the filly, of course, we know is racing in New Zealand, so were the Jewels always a target for her?
Not immediately. Mark and the owners sent her over early on in the season, and the aim was to sort of bring her over to Australia, race over here, see where we ended up. We had the Sapling Stakes and the Pink Bonnet in mind, and she was placed in both those. And yeah, along the way she happened to win a couple of races at Newcastle and done everything right. And then we thought, well, there's not much on for her being a 2-win 2-year-old and drawing bad, so we'll throw our hat into the ring. And plenty of emails to Darren and phone calls and texts, and yeah, we're lucky enough to get the invite.
Fantastic, and as you say, nice to have the Kiwi connections there too, not only with Mark, but the fact she's Kiwi bred. But can you tell us, Aaron, a bit about how your connection and training partnership started with Mark?
Yeah, well, I met Mark through Mark McNamara when he started calling over there, and we had a couple of horses with Mark, and then sort of got to know Mark a bit, and then he gave me a couple of horses to spell 2 winters ago, and then I jogged them back up for Ashley Syker and then Tim Button, and then Grant Hatton, one of Mark's good owners. I had the bus here and spelled him and worked him up, and he got a very good record last year. He had 9 starts, 6 wins, 2 seconds and a third, and Grant went back to New Zealand saying this Australian racing's good, and we had another little mare, Trey Veet, win 2 out of 2, and then something went wrong with her, little breathing issue. So yeah, then we sat down and thought, well, we'll set up a little business together.
Fantastic, and of course now that's led to having a horse in the Harness Jewels representing Australia. So as an Australian, that must be very proud for you, Aaron.
Yeah, it's a big thrill, and obviously to set a horse for a race and 1, have the ability, and 2, get through to it is a bit of a buzz, and it's good for our business that we've started up. And yeah, it's obviously an honour to represent your country, and yeah, we're going to do that in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic, and of course this week she will be wearing the Harness Jewels colours. She'll be the first Australian representative to wear the Jewels colours. And how did she come through that race last Friday night? Has she adapted to the travel and Alexandra Park's racing style, Aaron?
Yeah, she's a good little filly. Obviously been back and forward now, and she does quite well, and she's a good doer, and whatever you put in front of her she handles, and she's very good to do everything with, and she's actually a pleasure to train, and pleasure to the owners how they've brought her up. And obviously Mark got her rolling early, and we've had no luck in our 2 runs up in Auckland, so hopefully this week we can get a barrier and get some more money.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Aaron, and I'm sure should Lulu Le Mans be successful in the 2-year-old Diamond, Mark McNamara is going to have a line or 2 ready, isn't he?
Oh, he will for sure. That's all he does all day, practices. Yeah, he'll be good to go.
Good on you. Well, congratulations, and good luck for the IRT Harness Jewels, Aaron.
Righto, thank you.
Well, of course, the second of the Australian invitations for the IRT Harness Jewels has been announced today, and we are thrilled to confirm that Major Occasion in the 4-year-old Diamond will wear the Australian Harness Jewels colours. And joining me is owner of Major Occasion and Peter Ward. Peter, congratulations, and how do you feel now knowing that you're going to represent your country with this mare?
G'day, Jess. Thank you very much. We're over the moon to be invited across. We're very much looking forward to getting over there and having a crack at the New Zealanders.
Yes, and we're very pleased that you're doing so. And of course, looking at the credentials around your mare, of course now a 4-year-old, she's had 4 wins this season and placed second to Dream About Me in the ladyship, but even as a 3-year-old she competed at the highest level.
Yes, Jess, she's been competing in Group 1s like as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and now as a 4-year-old, and while she hasn't won one, she's sort of been there and thereabouts. She's just been a little bit unlucky or got the wrong draw or just been a bit off that week. And we'd dearly love to win one with her, but yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but hopefully this might be somewhere where we can pick up one.
I would imagine so. And as you mentioned, competing at the highest level for such a long time, and even recently looking at her times, Peter, she's been winning over a mile there in Australia, and gee, she's put together some sensational mile times.
Yeah, we haven't quite cracked the 150 mark yet, but she's getting closer every time she goes round, and hopefully before her days are over, she might break the 150 mark. She's been battling wide draws at Menangle the last 4 or 5 starts, which hasn't helped the cause either. So hopefully we get a good draw over in New Zealand as well.
Well, you never know. We might be kind to you. You might not get the visitors' draw this time around. And how much would it mean to you, given that you've had, as you say, all these bad draws in Australia, if you were able to crack that big win across the ditch?
Oh, it'd be sensational. It's yes, like I say, it's something that we've been hoping to get a Group 1 with her. Mm-hmm. We haven't quite cracked it yet, but we are actually having another crack at a Group 1 before we go over there in the Queen of the Pacific, if all goes to plan, in Melbourne on I think it's the 18th of May. So she'll have a run in the Queen of the Pacific on the 18th of May, and then get ready to go across to you guys over there.
Fabulous. And
hopefully we can get one of those.
Yeah, I'm sure. And she deserves it. As you say, she's been knocking on the door. She's been so consistent 2, 3 and 4-year-old seasons. And Peter, will you bring across some family and friends to take in the Jewels in Christchurch yourself?
Yes, myself and my wife are looking at going over there on the Friday before and probably staying for another week and having a look around, and we're really looking forward to it. I think the Frisbees are bringing a few people over as well. Oh, wow. Chris's wife, and Anthony's going to be driving her, of course. So yes, we'll have a few supporters over there.
Yep, and I'm sure you'll be made to feel very, very welcome. Peter Ward, owner of Major Occasion, who is the 4-year-old Diamond Australian representative. Congratulations on the invitation, and we cannot wait to see you and your mare here, Peter.
We can't wait to get there. Thanks very much, Jess, and thank you to Harness Racing New Zealand for all their help in getting us organised to get over there.